Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my ambition.
Hi guys, I've got Tiffany here with me and I'm Alex.
Yes, I've been thinking of buying myself a title actually.
Oh,
This whole
nice.
thing that comes from my head. I said, oh, Lady Tiffany has always sounded lovely. And
Lady
apparently,
Tiffany does sound nice. It sounds good, doesn't it?
exactly, you can pay like 30 quid and get you can get a title, and then apparently you can get into clubs really quickly. So I might just like you
Hmm.
get to the door, you show them your ID, and it says lady. Apparently, you get fast track. So hey, I
Mm.
might go back to clubbing or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I was going to say, how often is that going to come in use?
Oh, never mind. Just the random thoughts that run through my head.
Yeah, that is quite a random one, but I like it. Yep.
Oh, so today we just having a bit of a chat, just what we've been up to. I think the key thing it's been the having guests on the show, right?
Yeah,
How have you been finding that, Alex?
I've been enjoying it. Like, I'm enjoying talking to lots of different people. And so behind the scenes, we've got a couple of guests, more guests lined up, but we'll keep you
Ooh.
suspense about that. Um, But I think what I'm really enjoying is meeting like a load of different people, and finding new perspectives. And I think the key takeaway so far is that no matter how polished or put together or ambitious people seem, underneath it, they're like, I'm barely clinging on here.
I need another book. I need another cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I think, yeah, I think you're right, Alex. It's this idea that as perfectly packaged as all these incredible people are, and they are incredible, there's
Hmm.
something behind the scenes. And I think that's a relief, but that's also very there's two parts to it. It's a relief because it makes you feel like, oh, actually, I'm not the only one who's not got it figured out. But at the same time, it's kind of a great, it's kind of a nod in our direction to say, look, it's okay. If you're struggling, that's okay too, because
Hmm.
nobody's got it figured out. So it's this nice kind of reminder, I think, for us as mothers who are trying to juggle everything.
I totally agree. And I think the person we met with yesterday, we all have 3-year-olds. And I
That
think
was fun.
um, we were basically all just saying how tired we are. Um, just before we started this call, so I was complaining yesterday about the fact that it's really it's like really early. Ted is awake from like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, and I am tired. So just before this call, I was sticking up the temporary blackout blinds that I got from Amazon. They've been delivered and they're up. They're up straight away. And I've decided I need a third one for the other window.
The things you get joy from as a mom.
Oh, I know. It's depressing. I,
That
I
is
can't go back to
funny.
the sleep deprivation. I can't.
I can't. Yeah, I don't blame you. I think sleep is just it's just a gift when you become a parent. But I think yeah, it's just a sacrifice you have to make, and trying to balance everything. But it's really nice with the guests. I think they definitely remind us that we're not alone
Yeah,
in the struggle.
we're not
Um,
alone. Just
yeah,
keep
so
saying it.
no, exactly, we're not alone, not alone. Yeah. So I mean, and also we attended a class. So Alex and I
Mhm.
did a upfront confidence class, which was pretty cool. So it was a I don't know much about the organization, but I know they conduct career and confidence classes for women, right? Is that what they
I've
do,
been
Alex?
messaging with the founder on LinkedIn actually, so
Okay.
let's see if we can get her on. Um, yeah, so basically their mission is like confidence, but confidence in the workplace. And I wrote something down about like they showed a couple of photos of women who like women in the workplace, but photos of the kind of male leadership and it just being a room full of men. And how women are like left out of rooms in the workplace all of the time. And that part of that stems from confidence, which we've talked about many times on here already. And I don't think that I'm somebody who's massively lacking in confidence. But, we were just saying before we started the call, I think that I've got room to improve on that, particularly in the workplace. Sometimes you think you have an idea and you're like, is this a stupid idea? Do I say it? Do I
Hmm.
wait? Do I tell them? And then, you might wait and not say it. And then somebody else says it and everyone's like, yes,
You're like,
was a great
ah.
idea. And you're like, oh, damn it. Why didn't I just say it? And I tend to be more like that at work than I would in other situations. Like, I wouldn't say I don't speak up, but
Ah.
sometimes if I'm not 100, I think I like like being really sure of something before I share
Is
it.
at work.
Yeah. Whereas,
Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
I think that I want to be confident it's a good idea. I'm not just throwing out random stuff, which I probably would in my personal life.
Oh,
So
okay. So almost
yeah,
like it's a different persona there.
not 100%. I'm still quite out there, but I definitely have a little bit more reticence because you want to be seen as professional.
I understand.
Do you know what I mean?
I understand. That's interesting. And I think I'm glad you say that because that shows that you're aware. And I
Hmm.
think awareness is the key to anything. Is to just be able to stand back and look at yourself and observe that and notice that. That's amazing. So well done. I think that's pretty cool.
No, thanks.
No,
What did you think of it? Did you enjoy the?
I enjoyed what I could hear, what I could kind of listen in on, because it's always a bit chaotic over here. But I liked it. I think confidence is something that's definitely held me back. I remember in my previous like career world prior to becoming a mom, and just just working really hard, but not talking about what I was doing. I remember a lot of the senior leadership, especially females, we said, "Oh, Tiffany, you should tell these people more what you're doing." And I think that's a trap a lot of people fall into, is this idea of like work very hard and hopefully I'll be recognized for it. But
Mhm.
it's the people that are talking about the success at work or coming up and being more confident, they get the promotion. And I
Yeah.
definitely recognize that in myself. But I think a lot of it for me is cultural. I was saying even this to our CEO of our company the other day, that I come from a Nigerian, very strict, very Nigerians are quite respectful, and I think that plays into the workplace. We take the same rules into the
Mhm.
workplace, and it doesn't apply. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the fundamental things I cannot wait to show my children, is that in different environments, different rules are at play.
That's
You
really
know,
interesting.
yeah, in our culture we have respect, and it's such an incredible to respect older people, respect your parents. I think it's amazing. When you go to work, I'm not saying don't respect the people there, but don't allow this weird respect of being quiet
Mhm.
and feel like, yeah,
Like
because
deferential, I would say, is like.
I think so. Yeah, just kind of talk to people, like just be direct with them. Be like, just say as it is. Don't apologize. Don't be overly sorry to share ideas, to speak up. But you know what? I think I'm glad I'm going through all this because I feel like I'm the guinea pig for my children to then like live their best life. So yeah, I'm glad to be this almost midpoint of learning these things, because the life lessons I'm going to share with them will be so different. Go out there and tell everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's really cool being in that class and learning that.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, I think so. And I did like what you were sharing about your boss and the kind of stuff he's been saying to you. Like, do you want to share some of that? Because that was really interesting about how he kind of interacts with people and yeah.
Yeah, I think again, I had this conversation with my boss about communication, and he was saying that I am quite formal in my communicating. I think that formality can turn people off sometimes because they know you're just putting up this like almost, we want to impress them, you want to keep toe the line, but people prefer a much more direct, easier way
Mhm.
of communication, especially like emails. You don't need to say to everyone, "I hope you're well" every time. Like if it's part of an email chain, you can just speak to them as they are.
I hope this
I hope
email
you're
finds
well.
you well.
But,
I hate it.
what about if it doesn't find me well?
And like,
It's like, do you really care?
why are we talking like that?
Yeah, no,
Not like,
exactly. I'm starting to see that. And you were saying just communicate with your clients as if you're communicating with your husband, especially if you're part of a conversation. It says you won't say to your husband, "Hope this email finds you well." And I thought that's true. So we're working together on, for me, being more direct, because he was like, "You're amazing, but like you just need to work on that." So it's really nice, I think, to be working with someone that, you know, recognizes that in me,
mm,
because
yeah.
it's true and they can help me improve.
Yeah, no, that's really cool that he's kind of doing a bit of mentoring and yeah, it's interesting for me as well because I've known him since he was like a little kid. So I'm like, ooh,
Shouts out to
hearing about his leadership
James.
style.
Yeah, no, James, I really like, I say this, I really like working with James. And I think you were saying something, and I think it sounds sad, but I feel like a lot of lessons as women we're learning from men.
Hmm.
Sadly, well, sad or not sadly, because they're just, a lot of time they're just brought up differently. And
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
just the way they're socialized. Like
yeah,
I was, yeah, I
so
think so.
it's crazy how, like, I just think there's this kind of, I don't know, I'm just learning from him. And it's interesting, like what you said last time as well, Alex, about what would a man do. Sometimes you do have to think like that.
And actually, at some training I went to in work, and we're going to be talking to like the founder of that training organization soon, and hopefully she'll come on as a guest in the near future. Oh, I feel like I'm like really like feeding some cliffhangers there about who it's going to be. But yeah, anyway, being so cryptic in case they don't like actually end up.
Come on, that's it. It's not because we're being secretive.
But yeah, so she actually goes a step further, and she couches it as, what would a mediocre man do? And like, yeah,
What?
it's good, isn't it? So like, but like, it goes back to that whole thing. If a woman needn't have like every single box ticked on a like personal specification to apply for the job, whereas even a fairly mediocre man would be like, yeah, I can do 75% of this or 50%. I've got this nailed. I'm going to apply. So for me, I really think that's true, but I don't want to. I feel like we shouldn't just try and be exactly like men. I think that we want to be trying to push the workplace to be more friendly to women's ways of working and perspectives. Yeah. But what I said to you before we came on this call was I want the like apologizing for existing and the sorry and I won't take too much of your time.
Oh, but
all of that kind of thing.
Ask you a quick question.
Yes, like stop apologizing for existing. Wow. You have value. You have important stuff to do. You don't have to say sorry to anyone for asking them a question or telling them to do something or taking up their time. Like, that's why you're at work. That's what you're doing. So yeah, I think I want to change the workplace and formats and structures to be more female friendly. But I also think we have got a piece of work to do for ourselves to be like, I'm not going to apologize anymore for existing or emailing people. Or so I do. I mean, I actually don't put them in that much anyway. But the just and I definitely don't put
a quick question.
Yeah, I try and like go back through it and look at it and check that it is assertive and straight to the point. I hate when you get really long emails that don't actually.
Yeah, this is what James, our founder, was saying, that write emails in the way that people will can easily respond to it. Because if it's too wordy, too lengthy, they're just looking at it like, no, this is just another job. But if you make it really this, that, no, yes, then it's like they can just respond and they're more likely to respond. And I think there is a success behind that. Actually, it's not just this idea of, even from your perspective, it's actually for you to get your job done, make it easy to people to respond. But like I said, I think I'm just excited to be learning all this, because I think I listened somewhere that in generational life and generational course of life, I like to be the dam that stops that water flow and then changes the course of direction. That's really interesting. So I'd love.
What a lovely poetic analogy.
No, it's not me. I learned that somewhere, and I love that. I think that applies to, like, a lot of things. I mean, even we'll get into this another time. I think I want to teach my children about finances. Things I learned way too late in life. Things about emotional intelligence.
Let's do an episode on that.
Emotional intelligence. Things about how to be in a workplace. I want to be that person that takes it all on. And then my lessons to them, my inspiration to them will be like, they're just going to go to the workplace and absolutely crush it, because I suffered and I had to learn the hard way. But they're not going to make the same mistakes, because that's dumb. But anyway, it's so much. But I don't think we have enough time to like discuss these things. I mean, look, even ideas of work and what work is. I mean, look, my dad, very quickly, my dad, came from Nigeria and came to England. He would work from like 6 a.m. to like 11 at night. He didn't even earn that much money. And it's like the idea of, it was away from home. And because of that, we didn't build a great relationship, but he was only doing his best based on the tools that he had and the time he was in. We're now in a time we have computers, we have laptop. I can work from home. I'm working right now. My kids are in the garden. I can see them from the window, So it's this, progression.
I'm laughing at do you need the potty?
I know. Right? There'll always be a question. But yeah, it's just there is progress in the air, and it's like, it's a great time to be alive. And what can we learn to apply to move on and teach the children? But I digress.
No, I think it's really true that we can, like the lessons we learn are ones that we can equip our kids with. And I'd love to do one on finance because I was
Oh,
diabolical with
love,
money. Like I had to
lordy,
teach
lordy,
myself a
lord.
lot about that.
You know, I feel passionate about finance. I think I would like, I'm very modern in my thinking like that. And as soon as they're like, I mean, for example, I've opened up a savings account for them. I did that as soon as they were born. So I always say to grandparents, no pressure, but you know, they have a lot of toys. I know you love them. I mean, my son has like, I don't know, like 10 sit-on cars. I mean, doesn't need that many. But look,
Yeah.
it's I understand that as grandparents, they want to do things out of love. So I don't want to stop
Mhm.
that. But I'm always reminding them, here's a savings account. The best thing I personally want to do for my children, when they're 18, I've made this promise, they're not going to ever rent a property. That's my thing anyway. I've just got
Okay.
this chip on my shoulder, like they're not giving someone money to stay in someone's house. So I want to be able to, by the time they're 18, 21, buy their first home. That's important to me. But obviously this
That's such an
society,
amazing goal.
I think so, because but again, you learn from the lessons that you made so many mistakes on. They can't make the same mistakes.
Actually, my auntie and uncle did that for their
All right.
daughter. Yeah. And they basically, she's an only child, and they kind of said along the lines of, you know, we'd rather you enjoy like essentially some of your inheritance now and not waste money on renting, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so actually we did the same with a savings account for Ted, and I put it in like
Love that.
it's not in his name actually, it's in my name because I
Oh,
am wary of I had a couple of small savings accounts when I turned 18, but
mhm.
they became mine, and I probably just wasted them on going out.
Right.
So I have
Oh
that
no, I'm not telling them. That's
yeah.
my thing. They don't know. I'm not going to tell them. Oh yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not going to tell my kids about their savings
Yeah.
until I feel like, oh, you're responsible enough. But if they end up being a bit, then I'll be like, I'm saying that I'm going shopping. No, I'm not telling them. That's the thing. I'm not really telling them about it. I think
But yeah, we do the same. But I haven't put it in his name. It's like a sub
oh
account
okay.
ours. So like you know, maybe at some point I will. But we actually and we're in a fortunate position to be able to do this. I think I heard about this from someone else. We save the child benefit that we get every month and put it in there.
Okay. I love that. I think it's, it's a key of like starting small, starting today, starting when they're one. Like I mean, by God's grace, they live to be old and great, but it's just the power of little things. But yeah, I think um, schools don't teach you how to save, like how to manage money. I mean, how crazy is that?
It is crazy actually. And
It's crazy. But
there
anyway,
needs to be a lot more like maths is obviously useful, but that should be taught alongside finance and like stuff like compound interest and stuff like that like is really important, but a lot of people have no idea about how that works. And
crazy.
yeah.
I think what I'm gonna find is I have seen a couple of like money coaches. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find someone who is like maybe a mother and she's doing incredible work to come and chat to us about
I
our
found
finances.
I found a couple. I was thinking along the same lines
I
actually, and
think
I
that'd be
found
useful.
somebody who's a couple of books. One of them's about investing for women, and I can't remember the name of it. But the other one's got a really catchy title. It's a book, and it's called "Girls Just Want to Have Funds." Which
Oh,
it's
girls want
obviously
to have fun. I saw, that reminds me of someone else who like gold digger. I love that. I love the play on
your
words.
yeah.
Yeah, because you
So
gotta have fun.
I think there are people out there with that slant of like it being tailored to women that would be good to get on, because
Definitely.
I think that like that's what I kind of want this to be about eventually there being some kind of network where, if you think about all the kind of like the Masons and stuff like that, like those kind of groups that have existed traditionally for men, or like what is it, like the Rotary Club, where like men talk to one another and
About Rotary related topics.
I don't know what they do in a Rotary Club. Like, but you know what I mean? That kind of
I know.
male.
I
I
know.
mean, maybe women can be in that one. I don't know. But basically, where they have these networks where they get to know one another, they network, they sort of make job offers to people through those organizations. They share their kind of investing tips and stuff like that. And a lot of that doesn't exist for women. And I think it should.
I like that. That's a great idea. I know we were going to talk about this article as well. We came across a very interesting article in your fabulous Daily Mail. Oh, the
Oh, I mean, I think it's been in all the papers. I've definitely seen stuff about it on the
okay,
news. Um,
okay.
yeah, so this is
I
the
hope that doesn't
deputy
expose me
co-leader.
as someone who reads Daily Mail. Then
I mean, I think even if you read
whatever,
it,
it's
you might hate
fine.
read it of like the
Ugh.
sidebar of shame of
Oh.
the bikinis and stuff. Um, or maybe you read it seriously, who knows? But I feel like we might have already been off-putting to people who do read it seriously. Who knows? But yes, so the Reform UK's co-deputy leader has said it's a travesty that working mothers don't have enough time for their children. Thoughts, Tiffany?
Oh dear. I mean, I don't know. So I don't know about the Reform UK, but obviously I've looked at the article and kind of what it's saying. I mean, they're saying, oh, we have plans to support marriage and give parents more choice to spend time with their children. So I don't know their background. Maybe they're just saying that to cover their lies, but I just think everyone just needs to live their life. I'm quite a balanced person. Sorry, I'm really boring in that way because I'm quite balanced. I
How
think
much how much do you know about Nigel Farage?
you see,
Because
not
he's the
much
leader.
when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
okay. Is that
I've heard some
filling it
things.
in a bit? Yeah,
I
okay.
need to get my husband on this. He'll have his
He'll have
views.
opinions, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
oh, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, you know what? I'll let you comment because I
Okay.
just think, look, people just do what you want, live your life as you want. I know personally, I have to have a career. I want to have a career. I always there with my children, so I do my best, and it's hard. I'm trying to balance it, so I don't care what people think or what reform has to say about anything.
I mean, so for me, people have probably guessed I'm not a big Reform UK fan at all. But I think in terms of this particular line of commentary, so I think it's interesting that they say it's a travesty that working mothers don't have time to spend with their kids.
Mm,
It's very much directed towards women, and I think a very old-fashioned view that parenting should all come down on women. And I think for me, we were talking before the call about how men and women have different roles. Often the children seem to need their mothers more, and I think part of that is if you've carried your children, then they do have that instant bond to you. But I do think that part of that is definitely societal. I think we're put into women can take greater amounts of parental leave, or you can do shared parental leave now, but it's made more difficult for a man to do that. And I think that I would value a system where it's completely up to the couple in question as to who's going to take parental leave, or which one of the couple, and you split that exactly how you want to do it. I read something interesting on LinkedIn that the sort of some of the rationale behind giving maternity leave to women is so they can recover from childbirth. But I don't know about you, but it's quite hard to recover from childbirth while also doing all of the childcare. Like, it's not that relaxing, is it?
not at all relaxing. Gosh, it's harder looking after kids than it is going to work.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's
Yeah.
intense.
I mean, I don't want to sound like I go to work and switch off. I don't. I go there and I do work. But at the same time, I'm having a cup of coffee. I can think
Yeah,
about
oh,
without being interrupted.
and I think even this is one of the what drives me at work. So I'm like, if I can look, like, it's hard. So work is actually not that I'm saying work is easy, but work is easier. I'm like, I'd rather go to work. Like, if you want me to do something easier in my life, it's working. It's not just this multifaceted, always busy. I mean, you don't even know, like, the amount of jobs you move around in when you're looking after your children. It's very intense. But yeah, I think society, this pressure on women is so, we just need to get over that. And I think women is, a lot of women are super ambitious. We're even more ambitious after having children. We've made lots of progress in terms of women working, women's rights, and I just think we need to continue. So we don't need any kind of, I don't know, Reform UK, anyone to come back and say it's all women's fault. I think they just need to say parents and families need to do better. And maybe just even point the fingers at dads and say maybe dads need to have more parental leave. Maybe that could be a good way
Yeah.
to approach it, because women have done enough. Carry the children. we're trying to balance everything. It's typically weight on the woman, and that's just the truth. And
Mhm.
I'm not complaining about it, but it's just that
I
sometimes
think you're okay to complain about it though, because it's a lot.
yeah,
And
it's a lot. It's really a lot, and but we still do it. We still go to work, and we still show up and do our best and be professional and not hide the chaos. That we're presenting this front of we're trying our best. So yeah, I just think unless you're walking in those shoes, then you shouldn't be making decisions for people.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think like in order for people to be successful, we've got to get childcare nailed in this country. Like the system of that, like it's so expensive, and the people who do an amazing job with our kids are so poorly
Mm.
paid as well. Like that really annoys me.
Yeah.
Like they'd actually earn more money probably like working in. I'm not disparaging working in Aldi.
But that
But
makes sense.
they'd earn more on that kind of an hourly rate working on the checkout than they would do in childcare. And I think that is, it's an intense job. I don't think I'd fancy spending all day with 20 plus little kids.
Oh God,
One's hard enough.
it's an intense job. I went to my daughter's nursery, and 15 minutes in, I was like, "Gosh, this is intense." I was just tired. I was like looking around, going, "Is there coffee?" And apparently, there's no coffee. They don't even get a coffee until later in the day. They only get one coffee. I was like, "God."
And they do it because they love it. They've got degrees.
Oh,
Like they are so dedicated, and they're absolutely amazing at Ted's nursery. Like they're so nice and really try and follow the kids and like do the activities that
I
they've got
know.
interest in.
It's
And
a
I just
full-on
think,
job.
yeah, the system really needs an overhaul.
It definitely does. It's a shame, but I think I was saying the other day, my new thing is that I'm now going to like proactively buy presents and gifts for Easters and Christmases now for the staff, because they look after our prized possessions all day, and that's huge. But anyway,
I took mine a bottle of gin at Christmas, and I was like,
oh, I love that.
but I
I
was
hope you're not
thinking,
drinking
I
at
was like,
work.
is this a normal present to give?
Oh, I love that. No, but sometimes you need it.
She
Like,
was like,
Lord,
thank
oh,
you.
that I love that. I think I need to think the same. Champagne for everybody.
Yeah, but like I was like, I
Love you
really
guys.
don't know what the done thing is. Like I've bought this present. It might be really inappropriate, but
No, I
yeah,
think
she
that's
seemed happy.
nice. No, I think that's nice. Like, you just need to do something. It doesn't matter. I think it's the expressing our gratitude. But right, guys, it's been great. Yeah, so I've enjoyed today's chat. Anything else you want to add in terms of what we've been up to this week?
Potty training.
Oh yes, potty training. Love. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of how easy it was for you, Tiffany, or how easy it seemed. You had a kid who wanted to use the
Yeah, it's
potty.
weird. Yeah, again, I think my son is an old person come back to us. I really do, because he's just not your normal toddler at all. But
Mhm.
that's just something that, yeah, it's just that that's what it is.
We got to nursery and back with dry pants yesterday, which was a win. But I had a couple of pairs of wet pants to bring home with me.
All right.
So we're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah.
It's been great, guys. Yeah, we will continue our chat next time. But thanks again for joining us for this episode of My Ambition. Like I said, we have a couple of guests coming up, so we look forward to giving you more content and more relevant stuff for your growth and development.
Yeah. Okay. Speak to you later, guys.
Take care, guys. Bye bye.